Hey, what's going on, people? This is Elder Tenchi, and I am back for another Sonic Boom review for this week's episode entitled Double Doomsday. Now, in Double Doomsday, what happens? Eggman hires an intern. Cannot be making this up. Eggman hires an intern who happens to be like a stereotypical nerdy type fanboy. He loves everything that Eggman has done. He's studied his tactics and all that. I'm like, you do know that he loses all the time, right? But this kid is, he's obviously one of those stereotypical quiet kids who right now obviously is going through going through changes because you can hear the tone of his voice is cracking, and he just got he's just got that stereotypical cartoony nerdy appeal. And Eggman decides, hey, free labor, how about you be my new intern? So when he's brought on, he immediately takes to regular tasks, like cleaning and taking out the trash and things of that nature. Anything that Eggman asks him to do, this kid is more than happy to do, and that kind of gets under the metal skin of the robots, and they say something to the effect of this kid is everything that this kid is doing is making us look bad. He overhears this and decides to dismantle one of the robots in a kind of a dark few second scene. I'm like, okay, there's blood on the wall, with oil on the wall, and the robot is being shut down. The yellow robot, not Cubot, the red one. And Cubot, after seeing this, goes to Sonic and Tails for help. While this is happening, Dave asks Eggman if there's anything that he can do that's a little more evil. You know what I mean? Because he's like, I've cleaned, I've done this, I've done that. Can I help you out with your evil schemes? And Eggman says, kid, you gotta work your way up the evil ladder. I love that you're a bad kid and everything, but you gotta work your way up. And he says, I can't just be an intern indefinitely. I have more to offer than this, blah, blah, blah. He sees a doomsday device and, and praises Eggman, of course, for the doomsday device. It's sort of it's like a machine that makes a giant like gravitational pulse, and it could destroy anything in its path, basically. So when this kid gets mad, he decides to lock himself in a room and build his own doomsday device. I'm like, okay, now there's trouble. Forget Eggman. This kid's on the deep end, and he threatens Eggman. He's like, I bet I can destroy more of the world than you. And then Eggman's like, no, I can do more than you. So now they're in competition with each other to figure out who's gonna destroy the world first. And okay, so things actually got interesting. Sonic and Tails um, notice this because Tails has a signal on his radar that sees these two pulses, and they go over to Eggman to try to make him turn it off. He's like, "There's not a switch on off switch on a Doomsday device," and I'm like, "That's actually pretty smart." I was shocked because Eggman's so corny in this version of the show. And so Tails comes up with a plan. All right, so I'm gonna try and help Dave complete his device because right now it's like power's out, like batteries are. I'm like, these things run on batteries. Are you out of your mind? But yeah, he decides to help him out. Sonic helps Eggman out. They figure if we can actually activate both these things at the same time, they will overload each other and they'll cancel each other out. Now that plan actually worked. It's Tails. I wouldn't expect anything less. But uh, instead of just canceling each other out, it makes it worse because this thing now has created a black hole that's sucking up everything in its path. Now, earlier in the episode, Tails invented something called the reverse polarizer, which can pretty much reverse any action. You know what I mean? And by just the push of a button. So he tells Sonic that you have to run into the black hole with the reverse polarizer to reverse the polarity of the hole. And then we actually get to see Sonic run for like a few seconds. He runs, he speeds up, he goes into the black hole, he's getting hit by debris, and he stops the black hole from destroying everything. He just shuts everything down. And while that's happening, Eggman and Dave, Dave gets fired. Yeah, he runs out. He's like, he gets fired. But he's looking for recommendations and stuff like that. I'm like, kid, you think this is going to be something that you're going to really put on your resume? Evil intern? You know, that's what I would say if I were Eggman. I'm like, really? But honestly, I was going to write this episode off at first because the last few episodes have been kind of eh. You know, not bad, not good, not just in between. You know, not great, just in between. This episode was actually pretty decent. I have to give it to them. Yeah, I am still kind of struggling with reviewing this episode, with reviewing this show, but so far, I am enjoying myself. The parts that I'm enjoying, I enjoy. The parts I don't enjoy, I go back and watch and see why I didn't enjoy them in the first place. But let me know what you guys think of this episode. How do you think this show is faring so far? Sonic fans, old and new, let me know what you guys think. And with that, I bid you peace, love, and never be normal.